You just stepped out of the shower. 1 second you were standing under hot water, and now you're not. That fast. That simple. This is second zero. And what happens over the next few minutes is something most people never think about, because it feels like nothing. You dried off, you moved on. But underneath that ordinary transition, your body is running one of its most quietly complex recovery operations, because it turns out the moment you step out of a shower might be one of the most physiologically eventful moments of your entire day. Let's start at the beginning. The very first thing that happens when you step out is nothing you chose. Your skin, which spent the last 10 minutes submerged in water somewhere between 100 to 108 degrees Fahrenheit, is now exposed to air that is almost certainly cooler, and your body notices immediately. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Your skin is not just a container, it is a real-time environmental monitoring system. Embedded in your dermis are millions of thermoreceptors, specialized nerve endings that do nothing but report temperature data to your brain continuously, without pause. The moment ambient air replaces hot water on your skin surface, those receptors send an updated report. Temperature falling. Adjust accordingly. Your brain receives that report in milliseconds, and the response is immediate. Your hypothalamus, the region of your brain responsible for temperature regulation, reads the incoming data and issues two orders simultaneously. First, constrict the peripheral blood vessels. Second, prepare to generate heat. The tiny muscles wrapped around the blood vessels near your skin surface, called arterioles, begin to tighten. Blood that was flooding your skin during the shower, giving you that flushed, pink appearance, starts to get rerouted inward, back toward your core, back toward your vital organs, where temperature stability matters most. This is why you feel cold after a hot shower, even when the bathroom's warm. It's not the room, it's your blood retreating. But let's go back to the skin itself. Because while your vascular system is reorganizing, something else is happening at the surface that is far less understood, even by the people who study it. Your skin has just been soaked. Not metaphorically, literally. The outermost layer of your skin, called the stratum corneum, is composed of dead skin cells called corneocytes, packed tightly together and embedded in a matrix of lipids, essentially fats, that form a waterproof seal. This layer is your primary barrier between your internal biology and the external world. It keeps pathogens out. It keeps water in. It is, in the words of one dermatologist who has spent 30 years studying it, the most underappreciated organ interface in the human body, and hot water disrupts it. During your shower, that lipid matrix begins to dissolve. Not entirely, not permanently, but the fats that hold your barrier together are water-soluble enough, especially in hot water, that extended exposure begins to wash them away. Your skin, by the time you step out, is measurably more permeable than it was before you got in. The barrier is temporarily weakened. Water can pass through it more freely in both directions, which means your skin, paradoxically, loses moisture faster after a hot shower than it would have if you had never showered at all. This process has a name: transepidermal water loss. And in the minutes after you step out, it accelerates. Your skin is drying from the inside out at the same time it's drying from the outside in. Around 30 seconds after you step out, something else is happening that most people have noticed but never had a name for. Your body temperature begins to drop, not dangerously, not dramatically, but measurably. And that drop is intentional. Here's where it gets interesting. Your core body temperature during a hot shower rises slightly, not dramatically, but enough. And your brain, your hypothalamus specifically, is always working to return that core temperature to its baseline of approximately 98.6 Fahrenheit. The moment you exit the shower, the loss of external heat accelerates that return. Your core temperature begins falling back toward baseline. And that descent, it turns out, is one of the most powerful sleep signals your body knows how to send. For decades, sleep researchers have known that falling core body temperature is one of the key triggers for sleep. Your body begins cooling naturally in the evening as part of your circadian rhythm. That cooling tells your brain it's time to produce melatonin, time to slow down, time to prepare for unconsciousness. Which is why a hot shower taken 60 to 90 minutes before bed has been consistently shown in clinical research to accelerate sleep onset. Not because the heat relaxes you, though it does, but because the drop in temperature that follows mimics the signal your body uses to fall asleep. You're not just cleaning yourself, you're hacking your own circadian clock. Now let's talk about what's happening in your brain. Because the shower didn't just affect your skin and your temperature, it changed your neurochemistry. Hot water on the body triggers the release of several neurotransmitters. Beta endorphins, your body's internal opioids, are released in response to thermal stress. Serotonin, which regulates mood and is a precursor to melatonin, increases with warmth and physical comfort. And dopamine, The molecule most associated with motivation and reward rises in response to the transition itself. The pleasant contrast between the warmth of the shower and the cool air after it creates a mild dopamine response that most people experience is that particular hard to describe feeling of post-shower clarity. That feeling is not imaginary. It is biochemical. There's also the water sound. Running water produces what acousticians classify as broadband noise. Sounds spread evenly across multiple frequencies simultaneously. Your brain, which is constantly filtering incoming sensory information for threats and patterns, finds broadband noise uniquely easy to ignore. It doesn't require monitoring. It doesn't require analysis. And when your brain stops analyzing background sound, something happens to your default mode network, the system active when you're not focused on an external task. It activates more freely, more broadly. This is why people have their best ideas in the shower. Not during the shower, strictly speaking, but in the minutes after. When the broadband noise stops, when your analytical brain is still in that slightly loosened state, but the external stimulus is gone, your default mode network runs freely. It makes connections. It surfaces associations. It finds the thing you couldn't find when you were trying. The shower didn't give you the idea. The neurological aftermath did. By now, a minute or two has passed since you stepped out. Your skin, if you haven't applied moisturizer, is continuing to lose water through that temporarily compromised barrier. Dermatologists who study skin barrier function have a 3-minute rule. They don't always agree on much, but most agree on this. The window for trapping moisture in the skin after a shower closes fast. Within 3 minutes of stepping out, the evaporation of surface water pulls bound water from deeper skin layers with it. Apply something within that window and you seal what remains. Wait longer and you're working against your own biology. Most people wait longer. Around the 3 to 5 minute mark, your body's thermoregulation has mostly stabilized. The arterial constriction has done its work. Your core temperature is tracking back toward baseline. The beta endorphin and serotonin levels in your bloodstream are beginning to normalize. Your skin barrier, given no further insult from hot water or soap, has begun the slow process of reconstituting itself. It will take several hours to fully restore. It will restore a little less completely each time the process is repeated too aggressively, too frequently, with water too hot. Dermatologists call this cumulative barrier disruption. Most people call it dry skin and blame the weather. By 5 minutes out, you are, on the surface, just a person who took a shower. But underneath that ordinary surface, you have completed a sequence that touched your vascular system, your thermoregulation center, your skin barrier, your endocrine system, your neurochemistry, your circadian rhythm, and your default mode network. All of this. From standing underwater for 10 minutes. The researchers who study skin, sleep, and thermoregulation will tell you the same thing. The body doesn't experience anything passively. Every input, even a warm shower, is a signal. And the body responds to every signal with a cascade of coordinated, purposeful activity that most of us will never notice and never need to think about. We move through these small, ordinary rituals as if they were nothing. Wake up, shower, get on with the day. But the biology underneath every one of those rituals is running at full complexity, full precision, full depth, every single time. The shower ends. The body doesn't. It just gets quieter about it.